Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and hang out with you, the lovely audience, and chat about a wide variety of things. Pop culture stuff, anime stuff, model kit building specifically. Um, if you are currently a subscriber here, you can throw the Bear Cave or the Lego emote in the chat, or both, or neither. If you're not a subscriber, you just throw whatever. It's a good way of me knowing who is here, having me know who is here as we begin. We'll give it some time for see if a few more folks want to join us, but right now I just thought I would say hi to the wonderful people out there and encourage you to throw something into the chat because it's nice. Hello. Zombie Pie's here. I just wanted to drop by to thank you for joining the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run last weekend. Well, Zombie Pie, it was my pleasure. Legitimately honest pleasure. And Criven wise, look, you got a lot of letters. Cran, hello. VTJ Man's here. Ultron's here. Says sup. But yeah, Cran, thank you. That makes it a lot easier now. I can say Cran. Zombie Pie. It was my honest to God pleasure. I had so much fun doing it. I just mailed out my the rewards to the 3 raffle winners, including Ultron, who was here in the chat, who won the big prize. But yeah, it was my pleasure to do that. The archive is on my YouTube if you want to see that Twitch sing stream and watch over the course of 3 hours me slowly lose my voice completely and utterly. I didn't lose it by the end of it, but it was really strained. It was hard. By the time we got to I'm the only one, I really didn't have much of a voice left to hit those high notes. But it was really fun, and we raised a bunch of money for kids as a group. I want to check that total. I did $1,000, $1,006, which is incredible. And as a group, we raised 12,576, which is a monster number. Completely unbelievable and wonderful. It was real good. And I had a great time doing it. But I want to thank folks for joining me. We are working on Zakk 2, the perfect grade. I just mailed my awards as well, so that's cool. I horribly underestimated how long my last game would take. Yeah, Zombie Pie, that's why one, I knew that I couldn't do much more than 3 hours singing. I probably could have played Hearthstone for a long time or another game for a long time, but even estimating, like, I did a bad job. I ended up having to pick like 3 or 4 songs that were in my backup because I was running out of tunes I wanted to sing. I just didn't average it out right. I think I was like, oh, I'll have more time to talk in between, but momentum wasn't doing it. I had to keep going, power through. But yeah, it's hard. I think having goals is tough. Incentives, I think, are great, but I think it's really just like, hey, I'm going to play this game for this amount of time. And I'll do this and this and this if we raise money. So if I do this again, it'll be something. It'll be something like Twitch things. Anyway, yeah, we're working on Zakk 2, which is a perfect grade. Here's the arm that we've done. We're going to keep working on this arm. We got to put some armor on this arm, and then we're basically going to do the exact same arm but on the other side. I did drop a piece. This piece I dropped, this chrome piece, I dropped the equivalent of it and can't find it. It's somewhere in my bedroom, so I will skip that piece, which luckily is pretty easy to take on and off, and I will, when I find it, put it on the other arm. But I did drop it. I think I know where it's underneath some stuff, I think. I think it slid somewhere weird. And also, we do have our head done for our Zakk 2, which you can kind of get a good scale of how big this thing is. And then, oops. Yeah, that. And then the head pops. Get a little brain work there. It is a pretty cool kit. But this is going to be a big friend. We're waiting a couple minutes before we get to the building. I always like to let people trickle in. A reminder, if you are a subscriber that uses your Twitch coin from Twitch Prime, because you link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account and you get that coin, you have to manually renew it. You can't do an auto renew. If you're spending $5 a month or more, you can auto renew that, but you can't auto renew the coin. Ursafan says, "Evening, Pat. Evening to you. Happy to have you here. But yeah, consider becoming a subscriber if you aren't already. I understand if you can't, but it does help. As I wait to hear back from some interviews I had this week about some work as I attempt to get full-time employment. Ugh. Cool emotes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, all our emotes are done by Alexandra, Zandra on Twitter. Both the thank you, Aristophan. I appreciate that. Both the Lego Pat and the Bear Cave, and then of course the newest one, which is tier 2 and 3, the Death Scythe, which I love very much. It's a Death Scythe, but it's me. It's me as a Death Scythe, and that makes me very happy. I was originally going to do Wing, or like the traditional, or even the RX-78, but Death Scythe's my favorite Gundam. So if I'm going to have a Gundam Pat, it should be the Death Scythe. It felt like the thing to do. I don't know. I don't even know what my next one's going to be. I'm gonna at some point, because I could have 3 for tier 1. So eventually Death Scythe will become a tier 1 and I'll have a new tier 2. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I got to figure that out. It'll happen though. I just don't know. Anyway, let's go to the overhead. We've hung out enough. It's time to build our Zakku 2. We got the overhead view here. You can see our head, which we're going to put aside. Big old head is going to go away. And then I already clipped some armor out, to warm up the hands. Already clipped some of this armor, and now we'll just attach it and take it from there. The articulation of this is pretty spectacular. It is a shame sometimes on these kind of kits, like a perfect grade, is particularly to put armor over it, right? Because there's so much happening here, and so much like the turns and twists and bends and just the articulation of this particularly is fantastic. Obviously, we only get one hand with a perfect grade, but the level of movement of it is pretty wild. So it is sometimes feels like a bit of a shame to throw a bunch of armor right on top so you can't see the cool shit that you assembled. But it's part of the process, so we got to do it. You'll still be able to see some of it. So even like one of the things that's annoying is that piece I mentioned that I dropped isn't super noticeable, but it'll still be noticeable when it's not there. It's just there as a secret present for you. That's right, Urbina. Also, hi, Urbina. Happy to have you here. Welcome to the stream, as always. But yeah, it is that thing that you just get used to. That's why I like the full mechanics line. Those 1/100 scales that aren't master grades. They're like 1/100 real grades for Iron-Blooded Orphans. I think those kits are in particular wonderful because you can just assemble them as just the interior skeleton, and you don't need to put the armor on, and it looks great. I think those are fantastic kits. I've always thought about maybe displaying one of those. I have another one. I might buy another full mechanics soon. Actually, I want to see if anyone has voted. My Patreon, I put a poll up to see if what kit I should buy next. I'll let my Patreon vote, and it's a tie right now between Iron-Blooded Orphans Full Mechanics Gundam Baer and the Lego Legacy Jay's Stormfighter, which is a cool looking Lego kit. That's a tie right now. So those are just like for those that don't know, I have a Patreon, and one of the things that I do for my $10 tier is that they can vote on what I build next out of, like, I put up options of like, hey, this is in my backlog, this is what I've got coming up, you can vote on what I do. But we're going to be here a while, so I might not even, this might take the rest of the month. And there's no guarantee that when I finish this, I won't have something else for my wish list, which gets to cut in line. Uh, so I put up there like, hey, you can't vote on what I'm gonna build next for a while, but you can vote on what I buy next. So let me know what you want to see me, uh, what you want to see from me, uh, as far as building goes, um, or what you want to see me buy. So we'll see. Um, John says I'm going directly into a master grade death scythe. I'm scared. So master grades. One thing that's nice is that death scythe is certainly not the newest model kit. So, but they're not that old. And really, the advice I'll give you is obviously you're doing a master grade, which means you're doing the 1/100 scale, which that's my sweet spot. Obviously, this is the 160 scale, and it's huge and fun. And it's not my favorite. I like it a lot, but I think doing 1/100 in the master grade is going to give you a lot more freedom than playing around with like a 144 scale kit. Obviously, maybe a high grade 1/100 would have been a better starting position, but really all you have to do is just breathe and take your time with it. And know that, you're trying something that's difficult, but it's not impossible. That Zakk arm is as big as a 144. I know, Ultron. It's such a big. This is the size of a leg on a master grade. Um, I will take out some other size kits for comparison's sake at some point. I've got to do that soon because I do think it's fun to look at those. But yeah, I mean, I started with an Ironblood 144. It was pretty tough, but lots of fun. Oh, I totally agree. I think the only scale that I would say don't start in is real grade, because I think real grade are small and complicated, and that's the idea of them, is that they are small and complicated. And I think that they are not as fun as, all right, it doesn't show what order to put these in, but I think these should go on after. I think I did this wrong. So I'm going to get my wedge out. I've got just, for those who don't know, I have this iFixit kit that I put a screwdriver in as well. It doesn't come with a kit. But this is the kind of kit you get to fix, like, or apply other things on smartphones. But I have found that it is very helpful because it means that I have tweezers and various other tools, and I am not dependent on just using my normal cutters, my snipper clips, to remove pieces or wedge into pieces. But yeah, I think I have to put this armor piece on first, and then these go on and kind of lock it in place. That's what I think anyway. So I should not have put these on first, which is fine. We'll make do. Kind of have to learn how to read the directions if you've never done one. Yes! As long as you take your time, the directions are pretty clear. Just make sure to double check your work and pay attention to how things are oriented, says Irabina, and everything should be drawn. Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about doing modern kits is that there's a lot of English in them. But what you can do is, I would also say, John, is the Death Scythe is incredibly popular, right? As a kit, right? The Gundam Wing. So someone's built it on YouTube. A dozen people have built it on YouTube, right? And someone you've never met has copied the instructions and written and translated them in English and updated them. So even if you end up buying a kit from for 1999, someone has some documentation about the Death Scythe, and you can look it up. You can see photos. You can see build like instructions. Hi Zorbs, happy to have you here. And John says I need to A, take my time, and B, keep the pieces away from your dogs. Yes, you want to keep animals away from model kits, Lego sets, any of that stuff you're building. All right, we're done with this arm. We're done with this big arm. That last piece was on there, and it was right. I was supposed to put this on first. Sometimes they number. They tell you, you can see that. No, you don't really see that too much in this kit, but they'll oftentimes be like, do this step first and then do this next step. This kit doesn't really do that, so you kind of have to pay attention. This is a kit from 1999, so not everything is super helpful. But yeah, we're done with this arm, so we can put it aside. And now we're going to go and, oh, actually, we're not. I have one piece I forgot to put on. I didn't clip it out. We got one more piece to put on, and then we're done with the arm. That's a nice Zakk arm. Thank you. Zorbs, I'm happy to have you here. Always nice to have you in chat. We just got started a little while ago with the stream. All right, so this is just going to go... Just going to go here. Oh, okay. It's a little rubber piece, so we're going to pull this up a little. There, we'll just do that. This is going to go lock into a little rubber piece here and then be able to move around a bit. What we got here? Harold is now hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold. This kit is going to be huge. Look at the size of the arm. Zorbs, I mean, the 160 scale is no joke. And the Zakk 2 is a big model kit. It's a big model. So, yeah, this is going to be pretty big. All right, so put that aside. Oop, that fell off immediately. Weird. Harold, happy to have you here. Thank you for hosting the stream. Always appreciate that. All right, so this came off, and so we'll reattach it and see if we can get it in there, right? Great. Yep, just let's have some movement there. Let's it move around, which is cool. But that arm is done. Do the fingers all bad too? Yes, Zorb. So it only gives you one hand, but the fingers have triple articulation. You can, because they're going to grip your weapons and all that. So it does have some articulation. Kind of see in there. So you can do fun stuff and move things around, which is pretty common for perfect grades, especially of this era, is to just give you some fingers. And it looks really good. Like I said, this kit is from 1999, so there's a lot of screws. It's really the thing that is the most, tough about this kit is just that the instructions are not as helpful as I would like as someone that does not read Japanese. And I think that sometimes the steps that they're putting in are a bit jumbled and a bit forced. I mean, this booklet is pretty thin. It's tall, but it's pretty thin. And that is, a little frustrating. T. All right, so I need O. It's Q. Where's O? Where'd O go? Here's O. Okay, great. Couldn't find one of my sheets. Yeah, so this is this kit occasionally gets a little tough because it's, like I said, 1999, and you're hoping to have a little bit more guidance. So I did do some research. I did look up some videos. I also have I forget. I'm gonna look it up. Dalong.net, dalong.net, has photos of all of the assembly. So it'll be the arm. Here's the arm built. Here's all the pieces that went into the arm. So you can look at it, and that's been very helpful to just kind of be okay, so which screws are in this? Because there are a lot of screws in this kit, which is sometimes very frustrating because they don't do a great job of letting you know exactly what screw you should be using, which is, not the best. Thanks to everybody that's joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Thursday is always a nice busy evening. Happy to have you here for some hanging out and some model kit building. We'll talk about some anime later. A few shows that came out, including one that I finally got around to watching that is a short series that unfortunately comes out on Friday, which means it's now part of all of the shows. Almost every show I watch is now a Friday or Saturday show. But a few come out on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, so I can talk about them tonight. But that'll be later. If you are a person that downloads a lot of podcasts but doesn't always listen to a lot of podcasts, which I sometimes end up with ones that are just sitting there oh, I never got around to actually um, watching or listening to that podcast, but it's been too long. I'm going to stop. I'm going to give up that I would actually finish that podcast. I recommend going back to Monday and listening to Waypoint Radio because Mike Eagle, rapper, comedian, internet personality, actor, is on Waypoint, and just Eagle and Austin is just a combo that like I knew I wanted, but I'm sure there are people out there that didn't know they wanted it. But I know that because I know Mike from a bunch of things on the internet, and he's very thoughtful and awesome. Um, so it was really fun to have him be like, have him talk. He just released a song with Danny Brown. Yeah, but it was, which is awesome. It's just great to have him like talk to Austin about games and about the process. They talk about music, and they talk about like he's got a TV show that comes out on Friday. That's tomorrow. That's nonsense. Mike Eagle has a TV show that's going to be on Comedy Central, and it's a good show. The live version of The New Negroes is fantastic. Um, and I haven't seen any part of the TV show. I can't speak about the TV version that is coming out. Uh, but I'm excited because Mike does great work. Baron Vaughn does fantastic work. Baron is a fantastic dude. Um, and the people they booked for that show, it's going to be great. Uh, Hello, Bald Ridge. It's going good. Yeah, so I recommend the Monday's episode of Waypoint Radio because Mike is incredibly thoughtful and he's like really interested in talking about cool shit. And also, he says something like the monster world effect or something. He has some kind of turn of phrase that I really liked, which was the idea that like listening to, because he listens to Waypoint, they like tricked him into trying Monster World, Monster Hunter World, which is not a game for him because he just did not have fun with it. But they make you excited about a thing, like when they're excited about a thing, which has happened to me a bunch. I have certainly purchased games that I was like, I knew I wasn't going to like this, but people I liked it, and they liked it so hard that I had to try it. That has happened to me pretty often. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Uh, in getting swept up in other people's excitement, so much so that you just buy a game that you just know you're like, this isn't me. This definitely isn't me. Why'd I do this? I mostly just don't have the time. I understand that, Bald Ridge. I have time. Damn, I have time. It feels very weird. Pat, you try any of the HCC Worlds decks. HCT Worlds decks. I'm gonna. No, I have not. Um, have not made that. Have not. Haven't really checked that out too much. The championship stuff. I'm still playing around with like. I mean, I found a new wild deck that is just unbelievably fun. But I have like 3 decks that I'm playing right now, and I haven't really looked at the championship stuff. Um, I'm overdue to take a look, but uh, yeah, I played Hearthstone yesterday on stream and had a run of bad luck with my favorite deck, my new favorite wild deck, and then after the stream, like last night and then today, just had a run of wins with it. It's mostly stuff that's bad on ladder, but fun to try. I mean, that's also what I'd play, so I should probably take a look. Like, my Spell Hunter deck requires playing a lot of spells and living until you can play Zul'jin to then outvalue your opponent. So it's not a good deck. And then my Thief Hunter, my Thief Rogue is a good deck, I think. It's just I play a version of it that doesn't use lackeys, so it's not as good as other people's versions. Let's see, we need S8. And then, what else? What else? S8 is this one. And I got a wild deck that's fun. Bummed you missed the Hearthstone stream. The Hearthstone stream was fun. It was pretty light on folks. Obviously, I'm streaming in the afternoon, and not everyone is as invested in that kind of stuff like I am. And then also we did run into one particular issue, which was there were some weirdos. Will you stream it more? I plan on it. I don't know when. I'll do another Hearthstone stream. I think when I have another deck it'll probably be situational. Like, oh, I found this deck. I really like playing it. It's silly in the ways I like it. I'm gonna play that on stream, and I think that's kind of where where that falls. Next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time will be a Jackbox night. We'll play a lot of Jackbox games with chat, which I love doing, and try to do every month. So that'll be next week. Baldry says, really fun, grabby hands deck in Magic, mana ramp, and then play big spells to steal all the opponent's things. Hell yeah. Gonna make a video of it soon and throw it on YouTube. Yeah, I like that. I like Thief decks. I had a lot of fun playing Thief Rogue. I've had a lot of fun with just variants of that idea. Those kind of things of like steal your opponent's stuff, steal copies of it, grab random things from your opponent, deck, and then do some silly things and see what happens. I am pretty invested in that. Alright, so then this goes like this. We're doing what we did with the other arm. It's just that there's so many steps that it's still easy to forget. And I mentioned this, so it'll probably be noticeable at some point, but there is a missing piece that here. There should be a piece that goes right here that's chrome. I did drop one Monday and then cannot find it, so it right now will be missing, but will eventually go in the deck. Or not the deck. It'll go in the kit. Because it's not. This is actually going to be, as far as missing pieces go, one, it doesn't mean that I can't continue, which is great. And two, it doesn't mean that I can't ever attach it, because it's actually going to be easy to get to. That's folks talking about Magic the Gathering. Go to it. Do your thing. We are looking for a screw here. I'm going to look at the photo reference that I have. About what size. This is a black screw, and it is a small black screw, I believe. Actually, I think it's this one. This is the thing that you run into. The number one thing that I don't like about this kit is, or this style of kit, is that it's just like, oh, you put a screw in. I can't tell which one you want. I don't know which one you want me to put in. There's definitely an indication, but it's lost on me. So it really comes down to, is this screw the right size? Yes. And I'll use the reference photo to see, oh, it's a black screw. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing about perfect grades, is that you're doing a lot of cool stuff, and then you're putting some screws in to keep it in place. Which you also find if you ever build a master grade from the G Gundam series of games. G Gundam decided that they were going to be real into screws in their master grades, which is fine, except that was my first kit after a long hiatus of building model kits. I hadn't built in a really long time, and then I went back to building, and then the first kit I did was a master grade of the Burning Gundam from G Gundam, and that was a pain in the ass. That did not want to work right. All right, so we put this aside. That's our shoulder piece. We now go back into some W's. W13. Uh, Had a great surprise this morning. Wanted to stream some Sekiro and found my save corrupted, so I'm playing back through. Kind of fun seeing how I've improved. You've learned a lot, I'm sure, but also a corrupted save is, oh, that's such a terrible surprise, Baldrige. I'm so sorry to hear that. Guess screwing sizes and component of my actual hell. Yes, it's really annoying. And then John says, I need to watch G Gundam. I like it. Look, you have to go through the cultural lens of it is. There are a lot of stereotypes. They make broad generalizations about a whole country or a colony that represents a whole country. So there's broad stereotypes that are not cool and should probably not be there. Definitely shouldn't be there. So you have to just be aware of that and not just accepting of it and you move on, but acknowledge like, hey, that's fucked up. I wish this wasn't part of it. Okay. Uh, but it's but G Gundam also has some really fun storytelling. The music is great. Domon is one of my favorite pilots. There's some great mecha design in it. We just finished the Gundam Spiegel. That was the the Gundam we did before this, which was a real pleasure to build. Um, all right, so that's going to go in here. Put that there. This is 7. Oh, yeah. I've been doing some Super Robot Wars, and I don't know half the Gundams. Yep, that'll happen. I'm no expert. Definitely, I'm no expert when it comes to all the shows. Uh, I have a save corrupt while at the very end of Far Cry 2. I was devastated. It took me years to build up the will to restart the game. Oh, Ultron, yeah, that's... Yeah, especially a game that you put a lot of time into, it's just the idea of, like, putting it all away. I'm so paranoid about that with games that I put a lot of time into. Oh. Where you don't have just, like, a slightly earlier one. Hey, Mr. Bob, happy to have you here. Uh... Oof. Yeah, a G Gundam is problematic at best. It's just the truth. Okay, so we need 49. Yeah, Mr. Bob, happy to have you here in the chat. Happy to have everybody here, I should say. I let that happen in a group game of Dead Island. Everyone finished the game without me. Yup. Because they want to finish, and hey, if you can't, they're gonna get it done. That fucking sucks. Sorry to laugh, but because that does suck. All right, remember this being annoying. We'll see if getting this attached the way I would like it attached is less annoying now that I've already done it once. And that's less annoying. Great. Nice to see. Every now and again. And then we put this here, which is going to clip onto this when these are ready to connect, which is soon. And we do have a tiny screw. It's a tiny black screw that we have to put in. I'm trying to keep my screws. I have my screws inside. So this big box, this big Zakk box for a perfect grade, comes with a tiny box that had some of the sheets inside, which we're going to put our Zakk in when it's done. So it'll be a box with inside the box. And that's very helpful because it means that I can just put all the extra screws in the box so they don't go anywhere, which is fantastic. We will need that screw in a moment, so I'm putting it right there. And then we will just go in and find what we need. I know. Corrupt Save Talk makes me want to go and back up every save I have. I have a lot in the cloud for PC stuff, but it still makes me very like skittish. I just swung in to see how y'all were doing. Got to pop off now. Have a good night, Pat and chat. Baldridge, you have a great night. Thanks so much for stopping in. Always happy to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. Um, Folks, happy to have you in here. As a reminder, if you aren't currently a subscriber, you can always just become a follower and set your notifications so you know when I stream. But maybe consider becoming a subscriber because it does benefit me, and the numbers go up. And you may know this about me. I like it when the numbers go up. We got Gunpla and Gun Talk. Yes. PC game saves going all over the HDD. Yes. I have that in I have my Fallout 4 saves I have saved in numerous locations because I was doing a bunch of stuff with Fallout 4 at the time and had a corrupt game save like an hour in. I clicked the bell because I don't want to miss your stream in Hearthstone. I hear ya. Cran, I will do another Hearthstone stream. I don't know when, but it will come. It will happen again because I do enjoy the game. It's just it doesn't. Not everyone is as into it as some of the other stuff I do, and this is primarily a build channel. But I do allow myself to kind of do what I want to do, and it is fun to show off some silly decks. Because we can say it's building if it involves a deck. It is technically building, right? All right, getting this all assembled is slightly annoying, but we'll get it done. All right, so that goes like that. Goes there. This goes here. All right. This goes like that. Yeah. Sometimes it's just Jackbox has nothing to do with anything I do. It's just that I like to do a bonus monthly game stream where I play games with chat because y'all are fun people and I want to say thank you by doing some stuff that focuses on you. So that's why we do the monthly bonus game stream, which is next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time until probably 11, where we will play various games that should be fun, but they're of the Jackbox variety. We'll play a few Jackbox games, and I think that'll be real cool. All right, so it goes like this, and this goes. And we just got to put a tiny screw in here at some point. Oops, oh no. Oh no. Sometimes these things just work really easily because you're like, well, I did this already, so I know what I need to do here. And other times that does not matter, or in fact, you just mess up because you don't actually remember how to do it. You just think you did. Doing it once doesn't mean anything. All right, we are ready for our screw, which is a small black screw that goes in here. My favorite thing when it comes to these are when it's they're the same size and vastly different, whatever, and one has a nut and one doesn't, and that's how you know. But that does not help me here because there are just various sizes and colors of these. And then we're just going to screw that in. But really, it's just, okay, does this fit there? Okay, it does. Great, we're doing it. And then tighten it up. And then, yeah, now it moves around a little bit and separates and has some movement to it and does all the things it's supposed to do. And we move on. So we've now done, we do there. Now we're going to build the hand, which is a lot of V pieces and a J piece. and A piece, a couple A pieces. So let's get that going. All right. Great. Now I have the theme to G Gundam in my head. Just the chorus. Shining finger. Do 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 do. And then there's a little bit of English there where it goes, I got a chance. You're like, okay, cool. Those are the best anime themes where there's like a lot of Japanese and maybe you'll learn it, but just enough like English words or phrases that you're like, I can do this. I can sing this part. There's probably, if there isn't a Vine of ProZD doing that, I'm sure that there must be. Somebody's done that Vine of just like waiting around and then just going for it. Oh no, there definitely is. I now remember it. But that is a great thing when you're just like, this this theme song has a couple words of English. I can't wait to sing it. All right, so just checked, and I have a regular 1/100 IBO kits. What is the difference between that and the full mechanics? So it's just the name. They eventually decided to call what they were doing um, full mechanics. So in the history there of Gunpla, particularly of the model kit variety for Bandai making Gundams, there's a thing called no grades. I've on this channel I've built a 160 scale no graded wing Gundam that's incredible. It's just a big high grade, but they didn't scale it. They didn't call it that, so it's just a no grade. So the original Iron Blood Orphan kits are just don't have any grade to them. They're not called anything. They just have a scale. And then eventually they started calling it full mechanics, and that's really the only difference. They're all, I think, just like the same style and line. They just eventually came up with a name for it, and it only full mechanics, as far as I know, I might be wrong, but I believe full mechanics only applies to um, uh, that like Iron Blood Orphan kits, and no other kit. Um, but yeah, it's basically the same thing. So you're okay. A full mechanics kit and an Iron Blood of Iron Blood Orphans, and then just an Iron Blood Orphans kit are basically the same. And it really just means that you're building the whole skeleton first, and then you're adding armor on top of it. So you might even do something with I can't remember which kit it was, but one of them we built. We did like I had to build the whole thing and then take a piece off so that I could put the armor on and then put it over it. And you end up with a very sturdy kit for 1/100 scale for like a high grade ish kind of thing. It's very sturdy. Stand up to a lot of wear and tear, which is awesome. All right, so we put that there. Yeah, they feel like an action figure when they're done. Yes, indeed. Um, yeah, I really enjoy those. Like I said, I have one that's up for vote that I might end up purchasing to build on my Patreon because I really liked building those. They're like solid kits. They look cool. Okay, so that was 6, which is no, that was 7. Okay, 7's this finger. Making sure I put the right fingers on. Don't want to fuck up the fingers. All right. Because there are no, like if you mess up one of the hands in a master grade, it's like, well, I won't have it open. I can't have a closed fist hands because I fucked it up. Or I can use one of the other kits from this generation or line. But perfect grade, I have to buy another perfect grade, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there's look, I'm sure there's aftermarkets. There's something I could do. I'm sure that there's something that I could get done if I had to. uh, and get some replacements. But I hope that nothing goes wrong with my hands. Hi, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here. Working on the Zakk 2 perfect grade. Charge Zakk 2. Happy to have you here in the chat. Making it happen. Okay, so now we put 7. Get a little color in. It's good because it's like the first like armor color we put on is the hands, and then we will fill it out with the rest of the kit. It's nice. And then we'll need J7. Oh, let me show you something here in a second, chat. I'm just gonna pop this piece out. I get asked this the other day on the internet, and so I thought I would show off it's like, hey, I see you reaching off camera. Where are you reaching to? What are you grabbing? I have 1, 2, 3, 6 of these little shelving things here. I got these on Amazon. You know, they're meant for documents or whatever, but they fit usually like 2 to 3 sheets, and then I just grab some tape and label them for quick reference. For like a master grade, or especially a high grade, all 6 are perfect. For a perfect grade, I have to throw some in the box. But yeah, it's just a quick little shorthand. Makes life a lot easier. When I was building out of the box, I would have to dig around and put things in alphabetical order, and then they would get out of order, and it was really frustrating. So now I just go and pull the sheet when I need something, and it's very helpful. So yeah, if you were wondering what I was reaching over for, that's what I'm going after. It is one of the many like, hey, this'll do kind of tools I have at my disposal. There's definitely better organization out there. If I had more of a table, because my table is like, this is the middle, here, like the edge is not too far off because it's a square table. It is not a magic green screen portal, Ashbrook, no. So my table is a nice square table, but it's not that long. So I do require, like I have a little table that I pull out to put that on. And it is super helpful. Not a portal, no. No, I have a green sheet on my wall that I, oops, gotta turn all these around. Oh, I put these fingers on wrong. Ha ha ha. I fucked up. Gotta pop this off. And then I gotta turn all these the other way because I put them on wrong, which is fun. There we go. Yeah, it's not a magic portal, unfortunately. It is just a regular old portal of light. What? Come on. Come on, fingers. Need you to go on there in the way that I want you to go on there. There we go. We did it. Just gotta put this on like this. Alright. Then I gotta put the thumb on. Then attach the thumb. And then we'll be done with our hands. And then we just gotta keep going. I say this a lot. I was talking about this in the Hearthstone stream yesterday, but having set up here my lights and all my gear and all that, like it's nice to be able to do this, to have this picture-in-picture kind of window here and have me facing here and not have it like when I'm on the road, this, the window here is to the right or left, and then I'm like off on the side, like over here, just doing whatever. I really like being like right above the action. I like it. It's a silly thing, but I think it's cool. It's also fun to like, yeah, I can have a green screen. I got a green screen, and I make it work. That's just, oh, I enjoy that. It's not. It took some lots of trial and error, and I'm still not great at it. Uh, but it goes out okay. And then I get to do. I'll mention it in the break, which we'll take pretty soon. Um, that I do have my, which I really enjoy, is doing the series background and characters, which a new one went up yesterday, and I'll link to during the break. But I think was a really good one this time around. And the ability to be able to use my green screen for something else is I always record those on Thursday. I set up the green screen because I have the time on Thursday to get it all set up for this stream, and then I record a little jokey joke. It's fun for me. I hope people like it as well. All right. Oh, you know what I didn't include in my uh, I gotta look this up. So I put a new video up today, which I hope people enjoyed, and it's called "Closer Look." Um, it is a mods to my Raspberry Pi. So I built a Raspberry Pi case that's like a Lego set. Some people, I believe, saw that, and I shot a video about some of the mods I made to it. They're simple, easy mods, but I thought it was a fun video to make. So I did that, and I'll mention that in a little bit when we take a break. But it's kind of fun to do like a video like that. I'm going to try to do that at least once a month of just like maybe I'll do a video on the differences between high grade and master grade, or maybe I'll do a difference between like here's a 1990 kit, here's a 2009 kit, or 1999 kit, here's a 2009 kit. Like do something like that. Take advantage of some of the various kits I have and do something like that. Are those on your YouTube? Yes. So, Crayon, I have youtube.com/PatBaer. I have archives of all my build streams there. I have the Hearthstone streams that I've done, which is under the category Build with Bear Games or BWE Games. I have Background to Characters, which is a series I do, which is a comedy series. That's on there. Basically, all of the various projects that I've worked on. My improvised post-mortem panels that I do at PAX, the 404ing panels that I do at PAX, like I've put up basically just about everything are on there. My Twitch Sings charity stream for last Sunday, like all that stuff. Oof. Put it there. Okay. I apologize if I'm not as oh, nice, I love 404 I do too. I love it very much. There's only one 404 that doesn't exist on there. I'm still attempting to find it because apparently, talk about lost footage or corrupted saves. There's a segment of the second ever 404 that got like taken down off of YouTube, and I don't have it anymore. And because I don't have access to it anymore, I don't have the original, it's kind of lost to time. Eventually it will turn up again, because that's how the internet works. Nothing's gone forever. I just have to find the archive. But yeah, the second ever, so 2014, which was Eric Pope, Jeff Gerswin, and Max Temkin. We have a segment. I ripped out a segment of it, but I don't have the whole thing. But I have a real one. Some of them are highly updated because they just get. Although maybe I think I did have to take down PAX South 2017 or 16 or something. There's a PAX South I had to take down again because so much of the content from it was like Japanese TV shows, and then there's no problems. Excuse me, pardon me. Sorry about that, y'all. Unprofessional. Big ol' sneeze. Couldn't handle it. Um, no, what ends up happening is that, like, that show, eventually people just, like, I have content on there and we're talking about it and everything's fine. And most of the time, uh, companies are just like, you can't monetize this, but we can. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But occasionally companies are like, you can't monetize this or show it at all or show it in any country but these countries. So I would put a 404 video up and then somebody from the UK would be like, hey, I can't watch that. And I'd be like, I don't know what to do about that. I'm sorry, but like I have no say in that. And it would suck and it'd be really frustrating. Um, Luckily, I haven't had that with any of the video games that I play because a lot of them, I even if I get the views to where they would get monetized, eventually they just someone monetizes on there. Because I'm streaming Hearthstone and Jackbox, um, and they want people. I mean, they genuinely very much want people to watch people play those games and then hopefully make a couple sales. So it seems like I'm not running into any issues when I put those games up. But there are a few other things I do run into some issues. But yeah, it's not the major reason why I don't do 404 again anymore, but it did it was a bummer to put a lot of work into that show and then put it on the internet and then have it so that I would have to then take this is the thing that sucks, right? Like that PAX South video that now I have the original and I could edit it and take out the content that whatever segment is there. But that'll be the third time I've edited it. And all those views are gone because now no one can watch it. So now it's like, well, I upload the new version. And if it happens right away, like there's a show that we showed like the Detective Pikachu, not the video game, the Detective Pikachu trailer. And like that immediately Pokemon Company was like, not only can you not do this, you have to immediately, no one can watch this video. We don't want to make money on this video. We want this video down from the internet. And it was like, okay, but I caught it early enough that people hadn't really watched the video yet. And when it comes to YouTube shit, like I'm not trying to like sell out and make a lot of money on YouTube. Like there's an avenue that I could attempt to do that in. I know what I could do when it comes to YouTube, and kind of playing with the algorithms, but that's not interesting to me. Like my most popular videos on my YouTube are improvised postmortem are huge, and it's great because it's no one else's content but mine, so I do very well with those videos and can put ads on them. Sometimes I have to be restricted because of swearing. People swear too much, so sometimes they get flagged for that. But in general, it works out pretty well, and it means that I can keep doing stuff. But I'm not trying to play YouTube. Here's the thing I want to talk about when it comes to YouTube, because I haven't read anything about it, and it's kind of interesting to me. I mean, why would I read anything about it, right? So y'all are on the internet. You know YouTube, even if you're not like a big time anime watcher, right? You know that a thing that is popular on YouTube are like top 10 MCs who are harsh but cool. And it's just a clip of a bunch of videos and like it's a description of the show and there's no sound and it's like, so it's whatever music they can play and it's just footage of some show and maybe a description. And it's like top 10 shows where a guy travels to another world where they start off as enemies but become lovers, like that kind of thing, right? So there's this person doing that work, right? Making it happen, doing their thing, making all these videos. Uh, and this year he transitioned. It was just those sounds and just doing whatever, and now he's doing like the other YouTube style of video, like the WatchMojo.com style of like, I'm talking over footage and I'm describing the show and I'm telling you why I would list this. So it went from just like thing to put on and maybe you find out like one of them and you're like, actually that's not accurate, or this footage doesn't fit with what you're saying, or what fucking show is that? To just like, hey, I'm apparently a British dude, and now I'm talking to you about a thing I like, and here's why I like it. And I'm just like, that's incredible. I think he's like, I want to say he's VinTube, maybe? No, it's something like that. I wish I could remember the name of it. I'm going to look my YouTube and see if I can find it in the history. My watch list. I'm going to look at my watch history and see if I can find it. It's like VinTube 4 or something like that. But I think that's like incredible. And, you know, he's been doing it for the year and I didn't even notice it because it's not somebody I followed, but like you watch enough of a style of video and then YouTube just suggests all of the videos in that style. And I just think that's like a really cool, like, go for it kind of change. Be like, hey, here's the thing I do. I'm going to stay in the world of it, but I'm going to like switch it up. Because I remember clicking on one of his videos, and then all of a sudden, like, a British man was talking. Oh, Boy Blue. I should say. I meant transition in, yes, to be clear. When I say transition, I mean he changed up his channel. I did not mean that this gentleman. Well, here's the other thing is, it's just a YouTube channel, right? And yes, you do expect that it's a young gentleman, right? Someone that identifies as being male. You would make that assumption. And then also, of course he's British. Like, of course he is. Of course this British gentleman is talking to me about anime that he likes on on YouTube. Like, I didn't know that he was British, but also, of course I fucking knew that he was British. Because of course he's fucking British. Like, duh. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. I wish I remembered the name of him, and I apologize for not. But I didn't actually think I was going to talk about that today, so I didn't do my homework. They're always British. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, and Boy Blue, when they're not British, they're fake British. I look. I don't want to make that accusation. I'm sure they're, you know, but I definitely know that there are folks out there streaming or making wacky videos. My fiance wants to have to watch any Americans on YouTube. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I watch a lot of Hearthstone videos, and right now, I watch like 3 folks where they're not was like a Danish gentleman, a Russian gentleman, and someone from the Czech, like on YouTube talking about Hearthstone, and then like 3 dudes from the USA. I saw some Five Nights at Freddy lore videos that my friend's daughter was watching one time at their house, and the cadence and speed of their talking in those videos was upsetting. Ultron, I understand. Like, yeah, there's not a lot of the subculture within certain genres and styles that have happened can be unsettling, to say the least. I don't watch a lot of that. I mean, most of the time, if I'm watching something, I'm usually watching clips of shows to be like, oh, I should check this out. We'll talk about that after the break, which we're going to take in a second. I'm just going to pull out some pieces here because we got some assembly to do here. But I am going to take a break in a moment and do the pause of the cause. And after that, we'll talk about anime, including a show that I watch. But a show that people recommended to me, and I was like, yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah, I'll check that out. And then I watched a clip of it on YouTube, and I was like, oh yes. But yeah, no, the cadence of certain people style it can be kind of difficult if it's not your jam. Um, uh, Shout outs to the one to chill video stuff. I like that, like Oxhorn, right? I don't know if you've ever seen Oxhorn. Oxhorn does primarily Fallout games, but he's done a few other games as well. Does like lore videos in the Fallout world and has like a pretty soothing, chill voice. He's got like um, a voice like the Lazy Game Reviews guy, kind of that like deep voice that you're like, okay, I'm ready to listen and like see what's up. Speaking of Oxhorn, before we take our break, I don't want to get into controversies or anything like that, but it did feel important to say, just to put it out there in case it comes across your desk on the internet. Uh, this channel, and by that I mean me, fucking Pat Baer, um, is knows what's up, is on Team Oxhorn, uh, is bummed that that dude in a part of his life had some views that weren't great, is happy that he's learned to be more tolerant as a person. Uh, and in general, I don't like witch hunts. And the very idea that people are like, we got to take this guy down because he doesn't hate Fallout 76. It's really it. He doesn't hate Fallout 76. And so he's corrupt and a thief and a liar, apparently. And it's a fucking bummer. It's a real fucking bummer. The internet is garbage. That dude does some cool shit, and it's a bummer that he's getting a lot of flack from trash people. Like I'm never gonna buy Fallout 76. It's not for me. But my favorite parts of Fallout 76 are the lore, and Oxhorn does videos about that lore. So he's doing a great service for me. I don't want to get into more of that, but like, this is another garbage thing on the internet, and it sucks that people are so sad inside that they have to like get swept up in a vast conspiracy to like hurt a dude. Ugh. Goddamn bummer. Um, Transitioning out of that into another thing, moving on from there, I should say. Hello, I'm Pat Baer. This is the part of the stream where I take a moment to say hi. Thank you all for watching. If you're not currently following, please give me a follow and turn your notifications on so you know when I'm streaming. I stream Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. As a model kit building stream and a Lego building stream. And then on generally Wednesdays, but sometimes other times, I stream as well. Stream game stuff, next Wednesday I'll be doing that. So consider giving me a follow. Become a subscriber. You can subscribe with your Twitch coin if you have Amazon Prime linked to your Twitch Prime. You could subscribe using actual money. Bits and coins are also always appreciated. They allow me to continue to do cool things. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave emote, the Lego emote in the chat. Let people know that's like the thing I can give you. Besides the fact of just knowing that it keeps me going because I also have a Patreon. And money I make from my Patreon, money I make from Twitch, YouTube ad revenue, my coffee, all that goes into me. Hi, Santini. Goes into me buying model kits and equipment to keep doing this. The lights that I have, I had to buy a second webcam when I started, and I got paid back through that. Those are all from there. There's some different rewards if you want to join my Patreon. I get a better cut from there, but I also understand that some people don't want to use Patreon, and I get that. Believe me, if there was a competitor to Patreon that did what Patreon does, I would use it. I would ditch Patreon so fast if I could, but I can't, so I won't. But yes, thanks for throwing the in there. I also have an Amazon wish list. This kit was bought off an Amazon wish list. I've got a variety of stuff there. Dragon Ball stuff. Lots of Gunpla, Lego sets from Star Wars and from Ninjago, their internal line. Lots of cool shit. You could buy that and it'll come to me like this kit. And if there's something that you think I should build that's on Amazon that you don't see there, tell me. Which is also what happened here. What happened here was that Brown Lantern was like, hey, you should put this kit on your wish list. I'll buy it. And then I did, and then he did. And that's nonsense, and it's great. Um, but that always just means that I have stuff to build because I do build 6 hours a week, and I go through kits. I also have a coffee. If you just want to make a one-time donation, coffee, ko.fi-fi.com/PatBear. We'll get through the rest of this and get back to building in a moment. The Build with Their Community is my Discord. I check it every day. People post photos of stuff they're working on. They promote their own streams. I post every video I make in there, so if you don't want to follow me on YouTube, you can always just follow the Discord, and in the general, I always post a link to things when I put them up. And then Background and Characters came out yesterday, this week's. It's really short, but it's a silly, fun character, and I think it's fun. The premise is that I go to random images websites and just look around until I find one that I like, put it on my green screen as the background, and then I just look at that image and go, okay, what do I do? What should I do? What do I do there? And then I just improvise a character. It's a fun little show. And then, as mentioned, my closer look, which is the mods I did to my Raspberry Pi Lego case. I put that video up today, and that's just a fun little thing. Lighting's not good in it. I apologize, but I wanted to get it done, and so it's a little quick and dirty. I'm gonna drink some water, and then we'll get building. Also, Twitch, bits and cheers, always appreciate it. If you got some bits lying around, you got some cheers, you can send my way. Those are always appreciated because they let me get a bigger payout, which is rad. All right. So, okay. Let's see here. We're going to back to building, and I'll talk about some anime in the last 45 minutes. His background and characters takes off more. Would you consider adding it to your panel rotation? Boy Blue, there's definitely a fun idea of doing something like that as a panel. So in the same way that improvised postmortem is just like a fun thing, I'd have to feel like, and is like, improvised postmortem is a short form improv game that I adapted to be something I could do. I don't know how I would do a live background and character. I mean, what I'd have to do is I'd have to set up a green screen, light a green screen, and then have a webcam on it, go to a laptop to put the back images in, and then have a monitor that shows that so that people standing in front of the green screen can see it. And then that image on the laptop would have to go out to monitors and the projector so the audience could see the person doing the improvised character. And then also, like, it would be so much work, but could be awesome. But also, we're like, one of the reasons why improvised postmortem, I think, in my opinion, works so well is because I have very funny friends who have the ability to run with jokes and play up what I'm asking them to do, and like can kind of like riff with me. Because at the end of the day, it's still just about games. So I'd really need some really strong improvisers to make that show work. It could be fucking fun, but it also, like, the idea of setting up and lighting a green screen in a panel room, to me, doesn't feel like a Pat Baer idea. It feels like a Brian Gilbert from Polygon, Pat Gill idea. Like the idea of, like, they would do that. But also they would have a lot of help from Polygon, which I don't have access to. But I feel like that would require like more effort than I've got like ability. But it is an idea that I will think about for too long now. So thank you very much, Boy Blue. You've now made me have to think about how I would do background and characters as a live panel show. So that's... Oh, did I lose? Rubber piece just flew away from me. Oh, no, it didn't. Good. Didn't throw it. That's... I have been thinking about doing... I'd like to do another live... if not the Lego Challenge, then doing another live build show as a panel. I think... I'm sorry. I've been thinking that I'm going to pitch Build with Baer Workshop as a panel for PAX Unplugged because League of Heels is not going to go to Unplugged this year. We had fun last year, but it's just not the right venue. But I'd still like to go to the convention, and having a panel to go do there could be fun. So I'm thinking that's what I'll do is just bring a panel to it. Also I want to say, because I know people have been, I occasionally talk about this. For a while there, I wasn't able to add links to things in the dashboard, Twitch dashboard, and I could today. So that's good. I don't know why. I don't know what changed, why that suddenly worked again, but it wasn't working before and is now, so that's good. That was a weird thing. I was like, oh, let me try it. Oh, it works. Would have to open up like Twitch, basically I'd have to go to my own chat as if I was watching my own stream, and then in that chat I could add links, but I couldn't do it in the dashboard, and that was weird. All right, anime time. Let's talk about anime for this week. First and foremost, while it still very much displeases me that I have renewed my Hulu account, which I do not use except for watching One Punch Man, I am pleased to report that episode 2 of One Punch Man had the shit I wanted from the manga. What it is adapting from the manga is great. Blizzard's goons got beat up just like I wanted them to. The Sonic fight looked great. Sonic Speedo, or whatever his name is. Speedio. That looked great. The budget. So there is a weird thing. Now, I can't tell if it's like me watching the stream on Hulu, or if it's like I haven't looked it up. I haven't looked up online to see what people are saying. If it's something else is happening, but there's a little stuttering going on, and I can't tell if it's the studio, if it's like part of every episode, or if it's like me watching it streamed like as it goes up. But there seems to be some stuttering going on. And then there's animation that's really smooth. So I think it's me. Like I said, I haven't looked it up. I'm going to look it up, but I haven't yet. But the content was good. Characters are, the minor characters that have been introduced, I think, are great. I'm excited. I want more Metal Bat. I think Metal Bat comes back in soon, and I just love Metal Bat because he's just the guy. Metal Bat. If you haven't seen that character from One Punch Man, he looks like a schoolyard bully. He has a metal baseball bat, and doesn't have powers related to that bat. His superhero ability is that the more you beat him up, the tougher he gets, and the more powered up his attack is. So he's a guy that like takes a good old beating and then hits you super hard. And also, his younger sister doesn't want him to be a hero and fight people, so he gets like freaked out if she shows up. He's like, ah, shit, all right, I can't do this anymore. It's just a good character, solid, very good character. Big old fan of um of that character, Metal Bat. Uh, I mean, there's a lot to love when it comes to that show. I think it's good. Like I said, I haven't done the investigation. I don't know what's going on there, but uh, let's see. Um, it's a Friday show, but I hadn't watched the first two episodes, so I just got caught up. So now it'll be part of my regular rotation, and I'll talk about the third episode on Saturday when it comes out. But Senryu Girl, Senryu, is a slice of life that is fucking adorable. It's 12-minute episodes, so it's like a half show. So adding it to my long queue is still not a problem. It is primarily a slice of life show about a young lady who actually um, who does not speak. She can. She just is too nervous and chooses not to speak because all her thoughts get jumbled together and she can't like talk about what she can't express herself the way she'd like to. But she can express herself very easily in the form of poems, like haikus, like 575 haikus. And the nice thing about the show is that you hear her voice. You hear like her internal voice say the poems, which is a nice effect. And it also features one of my favorite tropes, one of my like top 10 favorite tropes in anime, which is tough looking guy who just wants to be a soft boy. So she meets like a new kid to town that like has a rep because he does fight. He's a good fighter, but he became a good like brawler because he looks tough and people wanted to fight him. Like people were scared of him, and then like what happens when you have a reputation as being scary is that people who are also scary want to prove that they're scarier than you. But he just wants to, so he joins the literary club basically, uh, and so he's learning about poems, and they're learning about friendship, and there'll be other characters that come in, and it's just cute as shit. So I highly recommend. Um, we haven't had any chat in a little bit. I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote in there because I haven't seen anybody in chat. So feel free to throw anything in there. Throw the Bear Cave emote, throw anything you want. It's okay if you don't feel like talking. I know I'm talking at you. But Senryu Girl, rad as shit. Black Clover, we're in a tournament right now. We get to see people be cool. I got more Asta, which I always like. There's nothing really happening to really talk about when it comes to Black Clover. It's fine right now. I'm waiting for this tournament to go over. Harold threw the Bear Cave emote in there. Let me know that chat is still working. It's just that y'all were quiet, which is fine. But I was. Every once in a while, I get a little paranoid that when there's nothing happening in chat, that like something went wrong with the chat, which happened before. Almost done with season 1 of Build Fighters. Maybe done tonight, says Antini. Lastbrook says here, just tired. It's okay. Ultron through the VTJ, man. That's great. No, it's fine because obviously I'm not having the conversation part of the stream. I'm talking about anime, but it is always like my fear is that people have been chatting and then like I can't see it, which has happened certainly before. Let's see. So, Black Clover, nothing really too great to report about Black Clover right now. I think it's good. It's just not. I'm waiting for this kind of arc to be over. But I do enjoy it. And you slept very poorly last night due to a thunderstorm. Lashbrook, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Let's see. Is there any other anime? Oh yeah, one more anime I want to talk to you about. Let's see. The Rising of the Shield Hero. So, as you know, I do not recommend this show to anyone. I do not think it is good. But that being said, a thing happened that some stuff that happened in this episode was interesting. Um, the Squirrel Girl had some huge character development and some story stuff, and we learned some background stuff about her, and there was some cool shit that happened with that. Uh, and then there's a big monster, and it's gonna be rough because now a big old monster demon that was sealed away once is now not sealed away, and that's a fucking bummer for everybody because now they got to fight a big old monster, and they don't want to do that shit. All right, I have to look for images here and see. All right, I got some black screws. I don't know which size this is. I don't remember which black screw I need. So we'll start with this one, and then, nope, it's not black screw. We'll start with the bigger screw, see if it's right, and if not, we'll grab the other one. We just have to screw this in here. We are almost done with this assembly, and then we can move on. Oops. We can then do the armor part. It's coming up. Oh, I should put the other screw in here. Yeah, like I said, Rising of the Shield Hero. I still don't think it's a good show. I don't recommend people check it out. It's starting to pay off on some of the themes. Okay, so one of the big things that sucks about the show is that there's, you know, a core conceit of one of the characters is that he can't pick up weapons. He's the shield hero. So he can't use weapons, traditional weapons. So one of the ways he gets around that is that he purchases a demi-human to hold to hold a weapon for him so that he can focus on other stuff that's not that, which is fucked up. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up part of the show. And then at a certain point, she's freed from service. She doesn't have to serve him anymore. And she chooses to stay with him and continue to help him out. And it's like some Stockholm syndrome shit where like nobody believes how good you are, but I believe in you. And it's like, no, what the fuck? And it's not great. But now we know that, oops, dropped a piece. Got to find that piece that I just dropped. It is a rubber piece, so it probably bounced. So now I have to find that. I'm going to keep talking while I look for this piece that fell. So while this is happening, I found it. We found out that one of the reasons why she's hanging out with the Shield Hero is that a character that we had not known previously, apparently at some point, it was her dream to work for or work with the Shield Hero. So part of it is her helping out her, like living her friend's dream for her. And I was like, that still sucks, but is slightly better than what we've had before. It's still not good. Like, there's just a lot of shit that's not good about this show. That's really not good. But, whatever. It is what it is. Like I said, there's some really interesting lore building and some world building in the show that I still can't tell people they should watch because I don't think they should. Uh, Especially now, there's just like a lot of good stuff going on. Let's see, is there any other? Those are the four shows. Senryu Girl, I'll probably be able to talk about tomorrow, or sorry, Saturday. I'll talk more about because I'll have watched um, more of that show, which is I'm excited to do because it's cool. Let's see. I think that's it as far as yeah. I watched more Build Fighters, but I'm going to talk about that on Monday. That was good. I enjoyed Build Fighters. We got about a half an hour left of the stream, so if there's anything you want to chat about, you want to hear me talk about, now's a great time to ask away. Hopefully I can comment on it while I put these screws in, which I don't want to do, but it is necessary for this build. And then we'll start putting armor on like we did with the other one, which will be good. But yeah. Let me know, chat, if there's anything you want to hear about. I had a... Okay, so I think these are the wrong size screws. I think that's why this is being a weird thing. I think I have the wrong size screws in here. So I am going to switch to the smaller ones and see if that stops this weirdness that's happening here. Because I think that's the problem that I'm running into. I think my favorite trope is the Bari sword pose. You know shit's got real when that happens. I understand. Yes, Ultron. I do tend to agree with you. Yeah, that does mean things are about to pop off. I love a talking sword, man. Oh, it's one of my favorite things in anime. Is a possessed sword. Woo boy, I love that shit. In a fighting show, when you just like pick up a thing and you're like, well, that sword is sacred, and you're like, cool, 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 and then it's just like, what's up? I used to be a samurai. Now I'm a sword. Let me help you out and tell you about stuff. I am possibly comic relief or possibly a unreliable narrator, but I am definitely a character. Ah, I love it. It's one of my favorite dumb things. What's your favorite dumb trope in anime or action stuff or fantasy RPGs or whatever? Let me know. We'll talk about it. If you got something you're just like, this is my favorite silly thing in fiction. I love when this happens in fiction. Let me know. Sound off in the comments, and by that I mean right in the chat, so I have something to talk about for the next half an hour until we stumble on something else. Trying to think about that. So yeah, I love that. I like it when the classics. I like it when animals talk in anime. I'm a huge fan of support characters that are animals. I think that's in anime. I think that rules. I think that trope is awesome. I'm trying to think of the other ones that are like really are just the fucking best. Let's see. I like it when I don't like tsundere characters, but I like it when other people are like, yeah, we know you like him. Just fucking say something. I like it when people call out tsundere characters. Hello, Durman. Welcome. We got about a half an hour of the stream. Happy you're here for this. Working on our arm here. We completed one arm, and now we're working on the other one. We'll do some armor on this arm. But yeah, I'm also talking about some of my favorite anime tropes when it comes to characters. Uh, um, Block Samurai's here. Hi, Block Samurai. You know what I do really like? I like when uh, people are bad at naming things. That's a fun trope. Like Soma, uh, um, in Food Wars. So Sogugeki no Soma. Um, I love that he's just like, this is something Yukihara style, and it's like that's not a good name. You came up with an incredible dish on the fly, but you did not name it good. Come on, dude. I like that a lot. I think that's very fun. Like how bad he is at naming things, or like there's a whole ongoing joke in One Piece of them like trying to name their second ship, the Thousand Sunny, and like they are all very bad at naming it. And they hear a good one, they're like, "That's way better than this dumb thing that had gorilla in it." There's nothing to do with gorilla in the ship, but I thought of name that it should have gorilla name. I really like that. Trying to think, but yeah, if you got favorite like cliches or tropes, because you know, like I said, I don't like tsundere characters, but I like it when people call out tsundere characters, and tsundere characters don't go. What about villain tropes? Yeah, Black Samurai. Let's see. So, I like it because it's a meta thing, and I am a fan of sometimes of the meta-ness of when villains have long monologues, and then somebody like one of their henchmen is like, "Don't don't do that," or when they're like, "Why would I tell you my plan?" Uh, oh yeah. Durman says my least favorite trope is when horrible amount of drama springs forth from somebody not asking an obvious question. Yes. One of my least favorite things in anime, and it is always happens in like super strong shows where like people are really good at a thing, is that a obviously dumb thing happens and everyone gets mad and no one stops to go, wait, this seems highly unlikely and like clearly this feels like a misunderstanding. What happened? Like, I hate it when anime characters aren't given the opportunity to be like, this was not my intention. This is clearly a misunderstanding. That does matter. But I want to talk about some positive stuff. Let's talk about like the tropes we like, because it is really annoying. But I like it when villains have backstories, sympathetic backstories. But I also love it when a villain's motivation is just like, I'm evil. I love that. There is something very fun about a character's motivation that's just like, fuck the world. And you're like, really? That's we're doing. You're doing all this because you don't like you like are jealous of a guy, and you're like, yes, I am very jealous of this person, and therefore I want something very bad to happen to him. And you're like, what if you were cool? And you're like, no, I refuse to be cool. I have to be shitty. Yeah, because everyone's going to be like, why are you doing this? You'd be like, because I'm powerful and rich. And you're like, oh, fuck. All right. I cannot be reasoned with. I can only be defeated. And you're like, ah, fuck. All right, well, I guess we have to defeat you. That is a fun movie. Yeah, I think that stuff rules. Ultron, thank you for posting a photo in the Discord. I'll check it out later. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think about other tropes I like. I did say that I do enjoy the tough guy who is misunderstood. I enjoy the like talking about One Punch Man, one of the strongest heroes in One Punch Man is not strong at all. He just has a scar on his face and he's intimidating looking. So a lot of people, and then he also like accidentally took the credit for a lot of stuff that someone else did. So people are like, King is fucking scary as shit. And he's just like, no, no, I'm just scary looking. Shit. I should not be a hero. Oh no. I do enjoy that. It's funny when bad guy one has to team up with the good guys to beat the bigger bad guy. That is very fun. That can be very fun when that happens. When they're just like, hey, what if ooh, shit. Oh, this is not going well. I'm going to have to help out y'all, I guess. Shit. Yeah. Yes, a bad guy realizing, or bad person, I should say, a villainous character realizing that they are not the top villain. Final form, I think I'm over final form, and what I'll say this: I am not over. Um, oh, I had another power. I had another transformation. I had another ability that only made itself transparent in this moment because that's where I'm at right now, and I need this. I'm still into that. I like that. I don't know if I'm into, oh, you think you beat me? You did not because of this. I don't know if I'm still into that. But I really do love the, well, if I have another ability, now would be a great time for it to show up. I think that's pretty cool. I like it when people come around. When people are like, like a lot. Obviously, main characters in anime face a lot of hardships. They go through a lot of trauma. They have a lot of baggage, and sometimes it's that thing of like, people don't like them, and they don't know why they don't like them. They just don't like them, and then people, something happens, and you're like, oh wait, that dude is cool. Shit, I should have been nice. It's really fun. There's there's a YouTube clip of it, but after after Naruto defeats Pain, there's always been characters that thought that Naruto was like, turns out to be pretty cool, but that's shit. What happened there? A piece just flew out of me. Oh, but that's like the first time that the entire village like acknowledges that Naruto is like a great dude. He's like a good young man who's like overcome a lot. And there's all these clips of like people like the major events in his life and people coming around and being like, oh, I'm sure other people did the work. And, oh, wait, I think, yeah, that seems like a pretty okay guy. And like, oh, no, what happened? I hope Naruto's okay. And you're like, and just like, you see this thing of this kid who like nobody liked because they were afraid of him, and then a bunch of kids his age didn't know about the fear part. They just knew that it was okay to not like him, and so they thrived on it. And them coming around, and that shit is great. Curse boy makes good, yeah. Um, that stuff is really choice. That's some choice anime stuff where the hard work pays off and the unlikely hero gets cheers and like acknowledged. Yeah. Small town boy done good. Cause you know that this kid didn't ask for this shit. You know that there's this like monster living in this kid at the expense of the life of both his parents. And that doing so saved the fucking village. You know that shit. But a bunch of people don't know that shit. They just know that that's the demon kid. And it's totally cool to be mean to the demon kid. Uh, is Mr. Satan a trope? I would say that the person who takes the credit for the hard work other people do, and the person that is all smoke and mirrors, yeah. Trying to think of other things I enjoy, but it's been a long time since I watched anime, not including the ongoing watching of DBZ Kai. Well, there you go, All Block Samurai. I mean, you'll definitely find some tropes there. I mean, that's a trope that I'm kind of over. Is bad guy just becomes a good guy, and everyone is just like, cool, cool, cool. Mr. Satan is many things to many people. Indeed. Very accurate. All right, got one more piece to put on here. And then we are done with... Wait, where did K go? Oh, no. Where's K? This is K. Yeah, we found it. Found it. But yeah, I hear Radiant. Radiant had like a guy that was considered a villain character because he looked like a villain character, but it turns out he just didn't understand why people were freaked out by the choices he was making, and he wasn't a villain character, which I like. I like that a lot, and I thought that was a good way to turn it on its head. Like, oh, he doesn't have malice. He's just like doing his objective and doesn't know how to talk to people. Like, that's an interesting take on the villain is now your teammate thing. Okay. And okay. All right. So we have done 2 arms. We did the arms. We're going to build... We're going to start building, appears to be, the right leg unit. And then we'll build the left. Yeah, the right leg unit is going to be the next block. We'll get started. We'll keep going for a little bit today, but because we'll keep working on it. But yeah, we got 2 arms done here, and the head. So we're already going pretty good. But yeah, this is a long build. This ain't no walk in the park. We need some N and some J. So what's going on here? Yeah, I'm trying to think of other tropes that I really like. I mean, I love the old grand entrance, the last minute person, like the smoke clears and someone cool is there. I like victory theme music as a indication that the hero is there. I like it when a minor character gets to have their goddamn moment in the sun and gets to do some cool shit. I think that rules. When it's just like, and now this person gets to do a thing. Fuck yeah. Like when Krillin gets to shine. That rules. Because Krillin's awesome. And once in a while, Krillin gets to do some good shit. Or, Choji in Naruto getting some moments to shine. This Choji like had some chances to grow and do some cool shit, and then it's just like, all right, it's my time. Let's do this thing. That's awesome. I like when characters are hilarious without realizing it. Oh yeah, yes, characters that aren't just trying to be jokey but are ridiculous. Or those kind of characters that are like, I'm definitely the main character in my own story. Oh wait, I'm not. I'm a support character. Oh no. Oh no. I thought I was the main person. I am not. Oh no. I like that shit. Trying to think of other tropes that I enjoy. Oh, you know what I love? Because you can't do it that often. But I love it when underlings are like, I'm fucking out of here. Fuck this shit. What am I even doing? I do not want to die right now. I love that. When people are like, hey man, I got hired to do a thing. I'm out. This seems fucked. And they can't do it too often, but there should be more. When you have like the unbeatable main character and they're like just kicking so much ass and you're just like, ah, fuck. Fuck this shit. This is not worth it. I do not want to die here. That is very good. I like that a lot. Just those like moments of like a little bit of breaking the fourth wall, a little bit of like taking it can take you out of it, but just that moment where you're just like, nah, man, the minions just quit. Yeah, no, when every once in a while, we're just like somebody's just like, ah, fuck this. I don't this. No, man, I'm out. I forget there was a really good one not too long ago where like a bunch of shit was going down and then like your guys show up and they're beating people up and then the guy just goes, hey man, I'm just gonna go. I just started. I don't know what this is. This seems like these guys aren't cool. Um, you seem real tough. I'm just gonna go. Uh, oh, there was that one big dude in the early episode of Venture Brothers who faces Brock just goes, I don't even need this job no more. Yes, Durman, there is a thing in Venture Brothers that's very funny where a guy's just like, I don't want to do this. Shit. It's like, hey, I'm gonna tell you where to go. These folks seem like they're in a cult. I'm out. Like, yeah, I definitely enjoy that. Uh, Guy getting ready to fight Brock Simpson. Yes. Yeah, that stuff can be fun. And that does show up in anime now and again. Uh, there's a characters in Fairy Tale. There's an episode of Fairy Tale where like the characters are like doing their thing and like fighting some people, and then like backup shows up, and the backup's all like they're like, and of course it's people who are too eager for it, who are like, oh, you're gonna get it now. Our friends are here. Our friends are gonna wipe the floor with you. We're not scared of Fairy Tale. And then the friends are just like, wait, you're fighting Fairy Tale? No, dude. No. Fuck this. And they don't say fuck this, but they're just like, no, I'm not fighting Fairy Tale, man. Uh, Because I think one guy's just like, no, man, they got Dragon Slayers. I'm not doing this. And I love that. I think that's so funny. Just be like, fuck this shit. I'm out. Like, nope. Not going to happen, man. Uh, Panda Milk, yes. I think my favorite anime trope is when the rival needs to team up with the protagonist and is just a reluctant shithead the whole time. Yes, Boy Blue. That is some good shit. Hi, folks that are just joining. We got to rush some new people in. And I wish that you had been here earlier because we are getting close to wrapping up the stream. So I wish that you had been here before, but that's okay. I stream 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to go for another minute or two, but we're almost done for the day. So I hope you can come and check out the stream another time. I'll be back on Saturday, 2 nights from now, at 9 p.m. building a model kit. We're gonna keep working on this perfect grade. But yeah, we hit 30 viewers, which is rad. But like I said, I'm almost done. I'm just gonna assemble this piece and put some screws in this thing. Working on the leg of our perfect grade here. But yeah. If you're new to the channel, you can always join, give me a follow and turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. That's a great way to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna put these. I think, let's see the size I need here. I think it's, yeah, larger screws. I'm gonna put 2 large screws in here. And yeah, we're just working on our leg here. Got some rubber pieces. This is the like, I don't know what part is this. This is part of the knee, I think, or the foot. I don't even know what this. This is some kind of connector. I think this is the leg part of the leg here. So we're just gonna attach some components. It goes like that, and then they fold over and screw in. Okay, so we'll do that. Harold says, I'll catch your Saturday, Pat. About to start a Twitch Thing stream. You're off tomorrow. Well, enjoy your stream. Folks, if you want to go hang out with Harold, that's a great way to continue your Thursday night, is to go check out H-Bomb and Friends stream, because I am about done here. I'm going to wrap up once we connect this, and I'm going to screw these in, and then I'm going to wrap up. So yeah, you can go check out Harold's stream. And he's going to do some Twitch things, which is rad. But thanks for joining me. A reminder that if you use your Twitch coin and Twitch Prime, you have to manually renew it. So consider doing that if you would like to continue to support my stream. You can also join my Patreon, or just follow along. I don't know. You got options. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your Thursday night. I have dip, and I'm going to go eat some chips and dip. And then also upload this video to YouTube and send it out to my Twitch, or my Patreon. But yeah, have a great evening, good night, and goodbye.